I'm here at Salt Lake City, and I'm here. The default airport looks really good. Salt Lake City's got a brand new airport, and I guess it debuts really soon. Maybe it already partially did, but we got a brand new terminal. So they're taking away this terminal here, and the new terminal's over there, and it's gonna look good. I don't know how long it'll take the Sims to bring in the new airport, but it looks fantastic. A little bit of a disclaimer: I have very little experience with tube liners in general on Microsoft Flight Simulator, so bear with me as I learn my way around this A320neo. This is a mod. I did load the freeware modification on top of this plane. Hopefully that works tonight. And bear with me as I learn the nuances of this plane. Spent very little time, and of course, this is the first time I've ever done a flight on stream. So there we go. Go inside here. Oh, it looks really beautiful. Default aircraft. Was having some weird audio buzz, and now it's fixed. On the stream. All right, so I learned today if I hit Control 8, it goes right up there. Hold down Control and hit 1. It zooms into the PFD. 2 is the FCU. 3 is the ECAM. 4 is a little bit further out. 5 is the MCDU. Control 6 is the throttle quadrant. Control 7 is the lower pedestal. Control 8 is the overhead. Control 9 is back up there. And Control 0 is right there. Maybe it's on your end. Yeah, let me know if I get multiple reports of audio. It could be something on my end as well. So, all right. So, if I understand correctly, when I loaded this mod, which I'll go ahead and link up in the chat here, this mod here is the A320 mod, and I just put it into the community folder. And I think because I'm parked at the gate that everything is supposed to be cold and dark. And I think that's a good sign. That's one indication, I think, that it's good. Endeavor says correct. Okay, good. Thank you, Endeavor. I'll look for you. I don't know if you wanted to try shared cockpit later on tonight after this first flight or not, but that might be kind of fun to see what it's about with this plane. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to hit battery 2. Maybe? Okay, well, no problem. No problemo. And any of you that want to join me on this flight, I'm flying from Salt Lake City down to Las Vegas. Let me bring up my overhead on the stream. Yeah, there it is. Salt Lake City to Las Vegas. I think if you type in !route, it'll come up with the route. But I'll be doing the Zions 1 departure, EHK transition, casino, and then City 4 arrival into 26 left into Vegas. Let's turn on our external power. Let's see if my seatbelt's working. So what I did, Endeavor, is I re-downloaded the mod again and put the mod back in fresh, and it looks like I got seatbelt signs. Yep, I do. I didn't have it before for whatever reason. So the only difference there was no new version. The only thing I can think of is that possibly I extracted the files with TerraCopy instead of File Explorer. I didn't use any unzip software. I just used the Windows Explorer unzip, and maybe something got corrupted along the way. But we'll turn on the nav and logo light, and we'll also turn on the crew oxygen supply. Let's see if we can bring up the PFD and MFD here. So we're going to rotate these knobs here to bring up the brightness. Looks like we're still in the self-test mode. So there's the PFD and the ND. We'll do the same for the first officer side. PFD and ND. And then I think the ECAM. Yep, ECAM here. And then it took me a long time. A tube with wings. Exactly, Peachy Ron. How you doing? Good evening. I need to learn how to fly tubes. I do too. I've been trying to do it Havoc Blast for 5 years, and I still don't know how to do it properly sometimes. So, but I have fun trying. I was looking for a brightness switch for the FCU, the flight control unit here, and I couldn't ever find it until I did. And it was amazing that it's right down these little knobs down here, which I've never played with before. So you just rotate that brightness knob there for the FCU, and you're good to go. So now we will come back up to the overhead. I'll hold control and hit number 8, and we will rotate these into the nav position. This aligns our ADIRS. There's probably an order to do this. I probably should have gone 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 1, or I think there is a proper order. But now that that's in play, I need to come down here and do the MCDU. This is a database that's not... This database, it says that it's May 4th, but for some reason I couldn't find the Arches 1. I couldn't find the Arches 1 SID out of Salt Lake City, so I'm going to be flying the Zions because it did find that. So I think Navigraph is testing Navigraph data into this sim, but I could, like I said, so if any of you have this plane, and let me know if you have the Arches 1 listed as an option on the departures out of Salt Lake City. So I'm going to go to the init page. It's already got KSLC to KLAS in the from to. All I'm going to do is put in the cost index. We'll just put in 50. And then as far as I can tell, I don't know if I need to fill in the zero fuel weight center of gravity or not. And I don't know if the fuel either works, but there's that. Init. I do need to put in a cruise. No need to put in the CG. Okay. The MCDU is outdated indeed. Okay. Centerone. Thank you. Outdated. Not sure if Navigraph is updating the MCDU. I think Navigraph is making it so the nav data goes in from Navigraph, but I could be wrong. And I thought that the Nav Blue partnership would have provided that, proper AIRAC to begin with, but we love Navigraph, so I don't know. I don't think the wind is operable to grab the winds yet. And I think that's all that I put on here, except for I'm going to put in a cruise level of 320. It isn't complete for some of the smaller airports. Okay. We got a follow. We got Captain M115. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Havoc Blast, you only do GA. Yeah, there's a lot of good GA in this sim for sure. You're hoping to buy 2020 next week. If it's a dud, I guess I'm stuck with X-Plane. Well, it's not a dud if you're into the visual experience. Right now, it's fantastic from a sightseeing, pilotage way of thinking. It just looks fantastic. But I'm having some success. I'm pretty confident that I can fly a Cessna Skyhawk 172 on the online networks like VATSIM or Pilot Edge, and maybe the TBM and a Cirrus maybe. But I don't feel confident in flying this plane online yet. But tonight is a test to see if it follows the SID and the star. I'm assuming it won't, but someone said that maybe some vertical nav will work. We'll find out. All right, so let's go to flight plan, and I'm going to click on KSLC. We're going to click on, hey, Dang Driver with the subscribe. Dang Driver with the subscribe. Cheers to you. 37 months.
37 months.
Cheers, Dang Driver, 37 months.
We got a subscribe.
We do have a subscribe. I'm going to click on the departure frequency, and this departure programming is brought to you by Dang Driver. All right, I'm going to go 16 left. And again, we're choosing the Zions 1 departure. And we're going to the EHK transition. And then we'll insert that. So now we've got the all the way to EHK. Perfect. So now we'll click on Las Vegas. We'll click on the arrival. We'll plan for ILS 26 left. And we're doing the city for arrival. I could go via Preno because that's a good point for the ILS. Temporary insert here. And that looks good. It does show some restraint. Yep, we got a chief flight attendant here. Would like a quick discussion with the captain. One moment. Your remote's popping up all over chat. Thanks, guys. Just doing some logistics there with the chief flight attendant. There's some unruly passengers in the back who think that they they can play Twister in the row, in the wherever, in the aisle. Twister is not allowed until cruise. So Endeavor says it works to some extent. Climb rates were a bit all over the place, but otherwise it worked okay for my tests. All right. Havoc Blast had no issue last night with the 172 G1000 on VATSIM. Havoc, where did you fly to and from, and were you IFR or VFR? Make sure you set your initial climb altitude. Okay, so Endeavor, where do I set the initial climb altitude? I am going to set that in the FCU. Do I need to put that in the MCDU? And Black Sheep 1, good evening. I am well, very, very well. Found out, let's see here. There's a beautiful right girl emote. Thank you, dang driver. If you're up for shared cockpit after this, we can do it. Just need to install another small tool. All right, yeah. Oh, that's funny that FCU got... Thank you, my moderator, for adding that term, FCU. Yeah, I think we might have time for that Endeavor, so that'll be good. That's funny. So again, do I put I'm just going to put the cruise level into the flight control unit, but I'm not sure if I put it, I put it into the MCDU other than the cruise altitude. So yeah. All right, I think that's good there. So let's go back up top and we'll turn on our fuel pumps. And, battery 1 needs to be on. MCDU has the cruise altitude. Yeah, I put the cruise altitude in the init page. So I'm assuming it right there is good enough for 320. Okay, good. All right, back up top. And let's go, we'll go master switch on the APU. We can turn the seatbelt signs on. No smoking to on. It goes to auto, it looks like. Emergency exit arm. What's that one right there? Oh, that's signs. Okay. All right, let's go down and check to see if the flap is open here. So now back up top here, I can go APU bleed. Does anyone know if I can bind these keys to just the number itself, like on the numpad? So instead of holding down control and hitting the number, like 7, 8, with control held down, I just want to be able to do it like in X-Plane and P3D with Chaseplane, is just use the numpad and hit the key once. Do you need to have a gate agent remove those passengers to their rooms? Possibly. Yeah, I'll keep you I'll keep you informed on that. ILS align at 8 minutes. Ooh. APU start will take a good 8 minutes. No. Don't tell me that. All right, so APU on. Let's see if it's yeah, it looks like APU start. You bound your views to the numpad. Okay, so I can do that. You have to redo them in options. Okay, all right. I won't do that on stream, but I'll definitely work on that off stream for sure. I saw some new. Oh wait, back up here. IFR you did from KDTW to CVG for testing. I could edit flight plan unlike the analog version. Okay, so use the G1000 version. Okay. I do really want it to be X-Plane style Pichuron for sure. Flying Scotsman saw some new aviation history board game the other day at Target. Looked pretty decent. Ooh, that would be something that Right Girl would be bored with, but I would probably really enjoy. All right, let's see if the APU. Yep, APU is kicking in. I'm assuming that the generator will automatically come into play. Maybe the APU gen won't come into play automatically. Oh, here's the gen. Oh, there's the APU gen. So I have to turn that. No, that's on by default. Maybe those faults will go off. Game Pass is doubling it in price just after the sim released. Is it really? How much is it now? It's going to take a moment. Okay. No worries. I can do other setup here. So we'll go over to, I got to memorize these keys and then rebind them to what I want. Here we're going to change the altitude to just the cruise level since we're not online. So 320. I'm also going to turn on my constraints here on the EFIS panel. Oh, there's APU gen voltage. Good. Cool. Still got generator faults, but that's coming along. And I'm assuming because I have attitude indicator that my alignment is done. I'm assuming. Bergeron Fang. So, hello, good evening. All set? Okay. Turn on flight director. All right, that's a good point. So, flight director. And then over here, flight director is on over there as well. Okay, that's looking really good. So now we're just, like I say, waiting for, okay, we're just waiting for those gens to go out before we push back. I think we're ready for push. I'm assuming those will automatically turn off. Did you set flex temperature? No. So, and that's going to be on the perf page. Okay, so perf page. So do I do the 1/down 0.0 for the flaps? Yep. Okay, flex temperature 52. There we go. Does that all look good? V1 113, VR 114, V2 118. Okay, thank you. Yep, that looks good. I wonder if I can turn on set my parking brake to max. Yep, I can. Okay, good. Still have generator fault. Would be easier to bind the view to numbers alone for sure. Yeah, I'm going to do that, but I won't take the time to do that on the stream. Gem faults display until you start the engines, just a thing on this model. 2 Zulu Mike, thank you. Okay. I usually don't arm my spoilers until after pushback and engine start, but I guess it doesn't hurt to do now. I kind of do the spoilers and the flaps at the same time, but you know. Was that Pan Am board game? Was that a Pan Am board game or something else I need to buy? It's cool how you could reply to that comment back there and have some context. That's good. All right. All right. Well, it sounds like we're ready for pushback. So I'm not gonna do. Should I disconnect the external power? I know it does it probably automatically, but should I just hit the external? Okay. So external power off. I'm gonna turn on the anti-collision light. And we're just going to do a pushback. So I got parking brake is set. We'll take parking brake off. And then we're going to come on the outside view and see if this works. Here comes the tug. Once engine's on, you can shut down APU. Okay. Check APU available button below the APU master button. When it turns green, you can start the APU bleed and the engine. Ah. So it does say available, and it is on. It's running. Bleed's on, so I think we're good. All right, we're pushing back. I don't know if there's anyone else joining. I'm on the US West server. Feel free to tag along if you want to. Yeah, we'll do the engine start button to on and then start the engines. I'm just delaying it for the eye candy. Normally you do it here, but I'm enjoying the candy. I just like the pushback tug. It's kind of cool. Anyway, cheers tonight. I'm having a fresh haze IPA from Deschutes. I believe. Yeah, it's from Oregon, from Bend, Oregon. It's pretty good. All right, we're going to stop the pushback there. Go back inside. Go down here to the pedestal. Switch this to engine start. We'll wait till we have PSI, which its PSI is green. Normally you need 30 PSI on both sides, but maybe that's not modeled yet. Well, we're about to find out. Starting number 2. Yeah, apparently that. Oh, there we go. Now we got PSI. Okay, so that's something that's not in the real Airbus, but that's okay. We have N2 rising. ECAM still needs a lot of work. It's beautiful that someone is taking the time to give this some love. I guess there's a nickname for this. This is the Zebo bus. Although it should be named after probably the guy who does this one. I don't know what his name is, but you can't find it on Mayfair, the game. Uh-oh. Flight controls in the ECAM work except for rudder. That'll probably be fixed. You're having a Barrio Blonde from Barrio Brewing in Tucson. Ooh. Is that like a wheat type beer, AZ? And the next update does fix the wind issue. Ooh, I like it. Ooh, you got that barking dog sound. I love it. Okay, we're going to start number 1. It's a logger. Ah, okay. VGT rising. Excuse me, N2 percentage rising. We got way too much fuel, but that's okay. All right, now that we got at least one good engine start, I will go ahead and arm the speed brake by pulling that up. And then one thing I noticed with my flaps, if I use my binding on my joystick, it goes flaps full. And then I have to incrementally put that back up. That's something in the, it's probably flaps incremental versus flaps full or flaps, I don't know. But so we have to set that that manually. We'll go ahead and squawk 2253. And we'll change this to auto on the ATC. All right, I think we can turn off our APU bleed, turn off our APU, turn on our taxi light to taxi. Strobes could go on to auto because the plane is smart enough to not turn them on until you're airborne, but we'll leave them off for the time being until we get to the runway. I think in the real world, auto will leave them off until you depart, I think, if I recall correctly. All right, we do have maximum auto brake. Is there anything else I'm missing here prior to taxi? I've flown everything but the Airbus. I need to learn it in 2020. Yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight for sure. Oh yeah, no, I think the no smoking is on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it's off, and there it just goes to auto apparently. So I think we're ready. So I'm gonna release. Oh, the parking brake is already released. All right, I'm gonna push my throttle forward. And we're moving. There's a cute little fire truck. And I'm going to taxi out here to the wait position here. By the way, I got a Delta livery. It's a freeware pack that it comes with several different liveries. And I was super excited to get a Delta livery. And I thought it was really easy to install the liveries. You know, just dropping folders into the community folder. It's a fantastic method. Looks like SimToolKit Pro has detected that we're on our taxi out. I mean, so far I could take it on VATSIM. Pilot. Is it normal for engine to shut down even if you have 2% fuel left? No, you wouldn't think so. I haven't had that problem or that feature. Oh, he's predicting already. Okay, so normally in the real world, there's a parking spot that's painted here on the ground. I think it's called 5 and 6. We'll just simulate that we've got clearance to taxi to 16 left via hotel. I think it's hotel. So far, so good. It's funny, you know, the sim's been out for how long now? What did it release on the 18th? And then, of course, I was involved in the alpha and the beta, and I have yet to fly this Airbus on a full flight. And I just did a little tiny run through of a takeoff, and then had to shut down off stream last night. But it's so far so good. The A320 or A320 is heavier than IRL, by the way. I hope they'll fix that. This one's heavier. Okay. Yeah, I think Blazing Monk. If we can get PMDG and FS Labs and even Quality Wings to jump in with some good stuff. I have high hopes for the Aerosoft, the CRJ. I'm not a big CRJ fan, but you know, Aerosoft has been touting their CRJ that's going to be for this simulator, and if that has good LNAV and VNAV, you can be pretty sure that I'll be trying that out. We got a subscribe. Fish Go Blue with a subscribe, 35 months. Thank you, Fish. Hope you're well. Hope you're really well. Testing to see if my banner comes up. There you go. You're here, huh? And Fish, you gotta stick on FS economy. Don't be weak, man. Don't be weak. One flight every 45 days. I know you're tempted to take a hiatus, but Snack Air needs you on the roster. I think in the real world they may be departing to the north tonight based on the winds, but it's a sim, so we're taking sim privilege. That's a good point. Replay is not here. I'm assuming that's coming. And then again, you know, maybe something like a chase plane product will rear its head and give us... It'll give us additional... Yeah, it'll give us additional camera ability as well as instant replay, because they have instant replay on chase plane and P3D, but yeah. You're really hoping for some rep packs? Yeah, rep packs would be good. Looks like, let's see here. On-air survival mode has pushed me back to FS. I don't understand all the survival's nuances. I got a lesson in on-air the other night. It was fun. I like it. I'm going to stick with it on to lesson 2 from Endeavor. Do many airports still use IRL follow cars? That's a good question. I've never seen a follow me car at Salt Lake City. But if someone needed progressive taxi, I don't know. Probably not here, but I think they're more common in Europe, maybe. I don't know. At the bigger airports anyway. I don't know. That's a good question. All right, we're here holding short. I'm gonna bring up the 4 flight so we can just look at the departure. Make sure that I remind myself to take this down. So flight plan, Zions, show the plate. All right, so here it says taking off from runway 16 left. We're going to climb on heading 160 to 7,000, then assigned by ATC. Radar vectors to cross hop to at or above 9,000, then on track 166 to Zions. And then on transition, maintain 230 or lower filed altitude, expect filed altitude 10 minutes after departure. So the plane should just take off here, 160 heading, and then radar vectors to this Hopto waypoint at or above 9,000, Zions, Gitlin. So that should work. Let's now triple cross verify this with... Yeah, then my transition is down here at Enoch, which I've actually physically been to. I visited that VOR in the real world. It was really cool. Yeah, that looks good. Now I'm going to compare the box just to see if it has Hopto, Zions, Gitlin. I should make a command so you guys can type in chat a command, and then it automatically talks to my streaming software and says, shut off 4-flight. That would be cool, except when you needed it if someone was playing a joke on you. That would not be good. All right, down to the MCDU, which is, I got to, again, memorize these. Ooh, the sunlight. So there's Hop2, Zions, Gitlin, Lodu, Ernau, EHK. Perfect. I think we're ready to go. So we'll come up here to the lights, and we'll go lights on. We'll go strobe light on. Taxi light to takeoff. We got a follow. We got Lone Wolf Gaming with the follow. Thank you. I think everything looks good up there except I need to bring the temperature up a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's see if the runway's cleared or the approach is clear. Ooh, look at that feature. That's a feature. I like that. All right, throttle up. It will likely overshoot any altitude restrictions on the climb. Well, then it's definitely not VATSIM worthy. Only when requested or required by letter of agreement. A lot of low visibility ops involved them.
Left.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Entered runway 16 left. 12,000 feet remaining.
12,000 feet remaining. Yeah, that's no approach. There's a guy that just took off going the other way. You had pilots request twice in 10 years, though it was insane fog. Well, then there you go. There is the voice. All right, I'm assuming that this will go into the Flex. I'm hoping that it goes into the Flex 52. Here we go. Oh crap! No, we're not. We're not ready yet. We got to do takeoff config. Takeoff config, and then we also. How do you do the cabin check? Do you just come up here and hit the cabin buttons? All. Oh, I just heard an attendant. Don't go all the way to Toga, 2 clicks. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty cool. The flight attendant talked to me. Oh, that's cool. All right, here we go. Let me turn up the sound a little bit. Actually, the sim is really down in volume, so let me... Passengers want to know why we are going forward and then not going forward. There we go. Just up for takeoff. Here we go.